Test. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 1. Mic check. Mic check, mic check. One, two, check, check. Test 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check.
Say you wanted to be there.
test 2. Boom. All right, you guys ready to get started here? We've got a fun night tonight. Rock Hardball on deck, Season 1, Episode 5. We've got Coach. I've got a former alumni, former Dodger pitcher. And then we'll get into Joey Robato and then a couple of the juniors. And we'll start knocking out some of the juniors here. So, Game Time Broadcasting, Rock Hardball on deck here with Coach Carter. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing good. All right, so the last time we talked a little bit about your high school experience going to Tech.
Yep.
I kind of wanted to go back there. Let's talk a little bit. So you go to Texas Tech and you're a walk-on football player, right? Tell me what that experience, walking onto the sports up there at a collegiate level, what was that like for you?
Well, I started off as a walk-on baseball, and that kind of got my foot in the door and understanding how the logistics of what it means to be a walk-on, what it takes in terms of time and time management, those kind of things. And then when I decided to transfer over to the football side, it's a lot more because you have more meetings, you have more expectations in the weight room and those kind of things. So the thing that kind of really got me motivated was when we had the 5 a.m. workouts and you couldn't miss, and it was like hell to put it nicely. It was hard, but you're doing it with a group of guys that you bond with and you develop relationships with, and it was real fun. It was a lot of fun to push yourself beyond what you think you're able to do.
So then let's go a little bit into you get 2 years. So you get the. How are you treated as a walk-on? Like you've got a bunch of scholarships. I know you got a lot of egos in both sports.
Yeah. Well, as a walk-on, the hardest part was getting noticed, and so I learned this a long time ago. If you want to get noticed, you got to volunteer for everything. And so scout team, you volunteer to be the guy running the scout team, and you try to give the best look possible at all times, and they get you noticed. And then things were very fortunate my way that some injuries occurred, and there wasn't anybody else that could snap the football. And so I was the second. I got thrown into the second team, and then when it came time for the spring game, I was the starter on the black team, and Brad was the starter on the red team. So I was thrown into the fire, and even though I was undersized compared to the guys I was competing against, I understand technique, understood leverage, understood how the things I needed to do to be successful, and I was able to hold my own.
Now, how did you balance baseball, collegiate baseball, and collegiate football? I mean, that's one of them is a handful.
Yeah. Well, collegiate baseball, when I decided to go to football, I stepped away from that aspect of it. I did that for a year and a half, had the time of my life. Brian Roper, who was the head coach at Midland Lee for a long time, his dad was the legendary coach at Bel Air High School. And Brian was the senior catcher, and I was the freshman catcher. And he kind of took me under his wing. And a guy named by the name of Denard Arthur was another catcher that had shoulder surgery that kind of gave me the chance to be able to travel. And those guys helped me learn a lot about, the game, the things that it took to be successful. And I've kind of taken some of that stuff and taken it into my coaching profession.
So then let's go to your junior year. Big thing happens. Coach calls you to his office. And at that point, you don't know if it's good, bad, and different. What's that? Well, take us through that experience.
Well, Coach Umbehagen, my offensive line coach, he calls me in his office and says, "Boy, you need to go see Coach Dykes." And I'm thinking, "Oh no, what did I do?" And so I went into Coach Dykes' office, and he said, "I don't know what it is about you, but you're pesky." And Coach Dykes, if you knew anything about him, he had told all kinds of stories. He had a deep Southern drawl, and he said, "Boy, we're going to give you an opportunity that not many guys your size get, and we're going to put you on scholarship." And my chin just dropped. I mean, my jaw opened. I was flabbergasted by the whole thing, and I was excited, and I was able to call my folks and tell them what's happening. My dad was excited because I was off his payroll at that point, and things went really well, and the rest is history.
And then what was the team's response? I mean, today, social media, those are now all
Yeah.
videoed and spread all over.
We didn't have that platform, so to
Yeah.
speak, but the offensive line, the guys on the offensive line, when I went back down to the locker room, they all high-fived me and
Nice.
and hugged and really, we had a really tight group of guys that really helped me feel really proud of what I has accomplished.
And one last question. I just think this is a great one because, there are boys here who their baseball careers, or competitive baseball will be coming to the end at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Some will be going on to college. Some next year will go on to college. But
Sure.
at some point, we're going to talk to Travis Schlitting here in a little bit about when it was his time to say, okay, time to hang up the glove.
Sure.
So you're a D1 college baseball player at Texas Tech. You make the decision, hey, maybe a little bit easier because of football. But what was that like, the emotions and making that decision and realizing another game that you love?
It was
as
hard.
a player?
It was hard. It took a lot of prayer and a lot of advice from people that I trusted. My dad, he and I sat down and went over the pros and cons. And then Coach Leonard McAngus was my offensive line coach in high school, and he and I sat down and talked. And then I talked to Coach Perez, and I just got a lot of good advice from good people and said, you got it in your heart, go attack it. And so that's what I did. Everything, your game comes to an end at some point in your career, no matter what you play. And that's the hardest part about sports is the next chapter. And that's why I think I got into coaching, because that was my next chapter. I felt like I could give back what other people gave to me.
Excellent. All right, so let's get to Rock Hardball 2026 recruiting. What is the recruiting process like for you? I know you're getting bombarded with calls or emails, on the off season, but now you're trying to run a team, you're trying to do your day job teaching, and we got spring football practices in there, and now you've got college coaches. What does it look like this time of year? Do you still hear from them? Is it regular?
We do. It's not as what's the word I'm looking for? It's not as at the front of what they're doing, because they're playing the nights we're playing, they're playing. Usually, if they get a chance to come see us play in tournament plays, when they get to see a lot of that, and hearsay and guys reaching out and us sending emails, and like I got a message from one of them that I sent an email to over a month and a half ago, and he finally got back to me. I appreciated the fact that he finally did get back to me and told him that. And he said, we're always looking for guys from Round Rock. That name alone brings attention. And, we have guys like Travis Sikora a couple years ago. Yeah. We have very talented young men. And we even have some on our team right now that professionals are looking at.
Yeah.
And there's a union of guys that share names and so forth. And they say, hey, I'm looking for a right-handed pitcher that those mid to upper 80s with a good slider. Hey, I saw a kid over at Round Rock that you can take a look at. And that's how their names get out sometimes.
And some of the pros, we see them all in front.
Sure.
On for some reason, it seems to be Tuesday nights or popular nights at Round Rock. What now? Do they reach out to you? Do they talk to you over the years? Because you've had several players.
Oh yeah. I'll give an example. Todd George, he's a scout for the Cubs.
Yep.
He's texted me at least once a week for the last month, asking questions. And hey, I see your team's bounced back from the loss you had against McNeil. Great job. Keep pushing forward. Sometimes it's just a simple hello. How you doing? How are things going? I see y'all are doing well. So they're keeping up with what we're doing as well, especially guys that are in the area, which is really neat.
Excellent. All right. So this season, district play starts out, tough loss at Vista Ridge. We then come back Friday night, and we're facing a junior, probably one of the top pitchers in the area. They're number one for sure.
Sure.
Right? And Drew Wells, the Tulane commit. So what's your mindset? What's the team's mindset? We're coming in off a tough loss, starting 0-1, and you're going up against really a solid top-tier pitcher.
Well, one of the things that we Coach Rod and I talked about was he hadn't pitched much up until that point, because he'd had some arm issues that had shut him down, and the coach had actually shared that with me, that he had only had one outing before us. And so our thought process going into it was, we're going to run his pitch count up. We're going to make him throw throw a lot of pitches. And our mentality of every game we go into is to try to get out the starter out of the game. If we can get the starter out of the game and get to the people's bullpen, we feel like our bullpen's better than theirs. We know our bullpen's better than theirs, and that if we can get to their bullpen, that we have a chance to do some things. And you watch when we get together at home plate, you see us talking when they bring in a new pitcher. It's blood in the water. That's the thought process. We're going up there. We're not going up there to take pitches. We're going up there to swing the bat.
And one of the things that we've noticed on the broadcast is the discipline at the plate, not just there, but like Cedar Ridge, both games there, just incredibly patient and not bailing the pitcher out.
Yeah.
What is it that's working with the boys so well there?
To me, it's the communication that they're having with each other. At the Cedar Ridge game, I kept thinking about Mazak couldn't throw his breaking ball for a strike, and so they communicated, if you see spin, let it go, make him throw it for a strike, be comfortable hitting with 2 strikes, be comfortable taking some pitches, and get to the bullpen once again. And so I can't take the credit for that. It's the players. They're taking great approaches. They're putting good swings on the baseball and giving ourselves a chance in situational hitting to score some runs.
So then we go McNeil, win the first game on a Saturday. Tuesday we go to McNeil. We're up by 5 in the top of the 5th inning, and a lot of walks. We end up basically giving the game up.
Yeah.
So now
wheels kind of fell off.
Exactly. Yeah, good way to put it. So with a team, the potential. They know the potential. We all talk about the potential, like in the stands. How do you keep them grounded? How do you keep them focused and really, on to the next pitch for less of a turn?
Well, that's kind of where we got to. There's a saying that 200 feet, you got to stay within the 200 feet. And Brian Kane talks about when you travel from New York to Los Angeles in the middle of the night, all you can worry about is what you see your headlights can go, and that's about 200 feet in front of you. You can't control what's behind you. You can't see further than 200 feet in front of you. So stay in the present moment. And we had to reset. I challenged them. Hey, we got to go be us. And McNeil, they got us. Good teams get beat. Yankees have gotten beat. The Dodgers have gotten beat. Everybody gets beat. So we got to reset it. We got to refocus, and we got to be present where our feet are, and worry about today. Worry about this moment. Don't worry about Cedar Ridge. That's the focus on what we were going to do. And I felt like we came in to that game against Cedar Ridge at their place, very focused, very in tune on where we wanted to be, and we were able to play a pretty good baseball game.
And in that game, right, cleaned up the fielding. Pitchers are throwing strikes. And you got some big bats. Cade Goddard on a 7-game hit streak now, district play hit game. I don't believe that Bob Slocum has any impact on the universe. 0. So now you get Maynard, right? A team that shows up 20 minutes, 15 minutes before first pitch with 9 players.
Yeah.
How do you keep them focused on, and not get a hangover into the next game that can be a trap game?
That's the hard part. The good part is that we got to play a lot of people. A lot of guys that hadn't been getting some at bats for a couple of games were able to get in the ball game and contribute and be a positive impact in our success in those 2 games. And like you said, I feel like tomorrow night could be a trap game. We got to reset our mind and go back to the mentality we had against Cedar Ridge and be present, be where our feet are, control what we can control, but have that swagger to ourselves, have that confidence in, hey, we're starting to hit on all cylinders, and that's what you want going into the back end of district play. You want to be hitting on all cylinders so you can take that momentum into the playoffs. I do believe that there's 5 teams playing for 4 spots in our district right now. Just based on record alone, you can see that, and we just got to continue to be one game at a time and take care of our business one pitch at a time.
Excellent. All right, so now we're on to Hutto. What are we looking at? Who are we looking at pitch in? What's the thought here going into tomorrow night, and then Friday night we'll be at home?
Well, it's a short week this week. Remember?
Oh, Thursday night.
tomorrow night, the plan. Josh is the Tuesday night starter. He was a little under the weather today, but Brooks Miklinchek is right there to back him up. If he can't go, then we'll go with Brooks. If he can, Brooks is going to be coming in behind him. We got the whole bullpen ready to go, and we feel like that this week we've got all of our arms ready. That's why we did what we did against Manor and threw everybody one inning. We treated it like a bullpen session almost, and you know, we did pretty good at that, I thought. And we've reset our entire staff, and we're ready to go, and we can use whatever arms we need to be successful.
And Isaac looked lights out.
It was
2
good.
innings,
It was
4
good to have,
strikeouts.
yeah, it was good to have Isaac back on the mound. He feels comfortable. His arm was working, and it's just going to help us get better. And even Luke Rod, he was able to get back out there as well. And that's just some guys that we know have been in the heat of the battle in big playoff games, and that's just going to making our pitching staff even stronger.
Excellent. All righty. Well, good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for taking the time out.
Oh, and I am going to say this, and just so everybody, I've told the kids this. Thursday, there is an 80% chance of rain. And if it rains, we play Friday.
Yep.
And then I don't know what time. That stuff is out of my control at this point, but we can't control that. Let's worry about tomorrow night. We're going to focus on tomorrow night, and then
Weathermen are usually wrong anyway.
Yeah, we can't control the weather,
Yeah.
and it might not come in until Thursday after the game's over with.
Yep.
So,
And that's a UIL rule.
That's
like
right.
if you don't play a district game, you have to play it the next day.
Next
if you can't
available
play
playing
it,
date.
then you got to play it the next available.
Correct.
So that would be Friday, Saturday, obviously no Sunday, so then go to Monday.
correct. That's out of my control. It's out of
Yep.
anybody's control. We try not to schedule those on
Good Friday.
on a holiday,
Mhm.
but if we do, we do. It's unfortunate, but that's the plan.
Excellent. All right. Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
All righty, Rock Hardball on deck. We're back here with senior catcher Joey Roboto. How are you, Joey?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So Joey's one of my favorites because I've known him since he was a baby, pretty much. I used to work with his mom. I've known his dad, and he's a survivor. You grow up with a mom from Long Island, New York.
Yep.
You're a survivor. That says a lot right there.
Yeah.
So who's a better cook, your mom or your dad?
I gotta go with my mom. She'd be mad if I said my dad.
Nice. Well, I'll share a really cool story. For my 50th birthday, we're coming up to my 50th birthday, and Melissa's trying to figure out, like, where do you want to go eat? What do you want? I'm like, I don't know. Well, your dad says, hey, your birthday's next week, right? Yeah. He goes, good. I'm going to finally make you those pizzas. Dude,
Yeah,
they were
I
killer,
remember
man.
that. Yeah.
They were killer, dude. That made my day.
Yeah, I love it.
Made my day. All right, so tell us about you, any siblings, your family, your parents.
I'm an only child. Parents are from New York. They're Italian. Get to eat really good. Yeah, that's really about it.
Pretty big extended family.
Yeah. I mean, I have no siblings, but I have a lot of girls. Like, I was the first guy in like 15 years on my mom's side, so that's kind of big for her side of the family. But
Especially for an New York Italian family.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
I mean, I have a big family. Like, when I go to New York for Thanksgiving, there's a lot of people at Thanksgiving. There's probably like 30, 40 people in a house in New York, so you can imagine how big it is. But I mean, we got a big family.
Cool. All right, let's go to your house here. Who's the best athlete?
At my house?
Yeah, you, your mom, your dad.
Probably me.
Who's the smartest?
I would say my dad.
What sports did you play growing up?
I played football and baseball, obviously baseball, but I played football from 6th grade to junior year. I just like playing it because a lot of my friends played it, so I got to spend a lot of time with them, and I kind of like tackling people and hitting people. So,
What was it hard to stop playing? Like, what led to that decision when you were like, okay, it's time to hang up the pads?
I decided to quit when I was like, I really need to focus on baseball and trying to go to college, and I felt football was taken away from that a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and taking away some of my time.
I'm just making sure it's working.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So we're good. All right. What's your earliest baseball memory?
I remember in T-ball, I was a 3. I was playing at the YMCA, and every time the ball would get to me, for some reason, I would try to throw the ball just as far as I can. I mean, that's like the youngest memory I have, and like that's pretty much. I started falling in love with baseball and like T-ball very early. Always loved playing it.
And what positions did you play growing up?
I played a lot of third growing up, and I loved it until I caught, and I was like, this is way better. I can get the ball every play, and it's just like, I just liked it more.
And then when did you first start to envision yourself as a high school baseball player? Like, at what point did I mean, I know when my boys when I coached 11, 12,
Yeah.
12, 13, kept hammering them on, getting them ready for their freshman year. But when did you really start thinking about it?
I've always wanted to play baseball in high school, college. I've always wanted to play, like when I was younger, I wanted to play professionally. I always wanted to be in MLB. So high school was always like no doubt in my mind. I wanted to play in high school, but I started like taking it serious, like very like more serious, like my sophomore year.
Mhm.
Started like getting on lifting programs and stuff, and started hitting with the coach, staying consistent with the coach. So that's when I also like got serious. But I've always wanted to play in high school.
Well, I mean, part of your youth select baseball years, you played with THZ. They were
Yeah.
always very good teaching
Yeah.
hitting and hitting skills.
They were just one of the first teams that picked me up
Mhm.
and always wanted me to be there. And I loved the coaches there. Been there until they basically grew me up. I learned most of my stuff from Coach Seth.
Yep.
I know a lot of those coaches, and I still talk to them to this day.
All right, so let's talk about Cactus Ranch days. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember Dragon Scales? You remember them coming to the school?
I don't remember baseball, but I do remember football.
What's it like today walking the halls of schools like Cactus Ranch, talking to the kids?
That's a good question. I mean, it's crazy because it felt like I was there like just yesterday, and I was just walking in those hallways, then looking up at those kids, wanting to be as big as them and being like them. But I don't know. It's pretty surreal.
And what's your most memorable baseball play ever? I mean, I don't care. You could be playing t-ball, but what's the most memorable play that you made that's like, yeah, that was good. That was fun.
I remember I was playing in Kyle, and someone hit a line drive to third base down the line, and I caught it, and then I turned a double play, like just laying on the guy. I just threw it. I threw it to second, got him out. Oh wait, no, yeah, and then that was just like. I mean, I don't know. Everyone, like all the parents after the game, were like coming up to me saying how good of a play it was, and they talked about it for like the rest of the season. So that's
Nice.
really the play that stuck with me.
Kind of gave you the confidence, gave
Yeah.
you a boost.
Yeah.
All right, so you talked a little bit about sophomore year. You get serious about baseball. What is that off-season training program, workout program? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I lift with Rocky
Mhm.
at Rock Performance. I lift with him 3 times a week on a program. He's a very I like going to him a lot. It's not just like I have to; it's like I get to. Because I love hanging out with those guys there, and then I love Rocky. We do a lot. He's helped me a lot with learning how to like properly train
Mhm.
for what I'm like trying to like accomplish with my rotation, hand speed, throwing, staying healthy. And then I have a hitting coach that I've been consistent for around like a year and a half or a little more than that. I just hit with him once a week to 2 times a week. He played at Round Rock. He played at Oregon State for 2 years.
Yep.
He coached there a little bit, with the Dodgers.
Who's that?
Kyle Franke.
Well, whatever he's doing is working because you're swinging a
Yeah.
good bat this year.
He's helped me a lot growing and learning my swing more.
Any superstitions, pregame rituals, anything that you do?
No, not really. I don't. No, I'm not a superstitious type of guy. No.
What advice would you give today to the freshmen and sophomores?
I would just say put your head down and just work as hard as you can and be as consistent as possible.
And which of your teammates has pushed you to be the best version of you, to be your very best?
Uh, Probably say Jesse or last year Jake Starretts.
Mhm.
He kind of because me and him would go to Rocky a lot together, and then we would stay after and hit a lot together, and we would just talk a lot and have a lot of fun. And Jesse, I lift with him and hit with him all the time. So those are just the guys I'm around the most. So they're always encouraging me and stuff.
So, in a program like Round Rock, we talked on the broadcast all the time, right? It's a very competitive environment, right? You got to make the most of the opportunities that
Yeah.
you get that are handed to you. How do you keep a positive attitude? How do you keep yourself mentally, ready for the next opportunity?
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, that's a great question. I just like when I don't see my name in the lineup, I just encourage the guys as much as possible because it's not just about me; it's about us winning. So I just want to do whatever I can for the team to win because it's not me. Like I'm not the whole team. I want to see us win a state championship or go far in the playoffs, and I obviously one person can't do that. So I just like doing whatever I can do and controlling what I can control.
what does a good teammate in the locker room look like to you?
I just say a guy that's like not bringing everyone down, always cracking jokes, not really like focusing on negatives and just talking about positives. Just never see him down. Like you can't tell how they're feeling that day type of guy.
Cool. All right. So, last question before we get into a speed round of questions. All right.
All right.
If you could go back, we talked about what advice you'd give the freshman and sophomore. Now,
Yeah.
if you could go back in time and talk to the freshman Joey Roboto, what advice are you giving him?
I would just say don't give up and just keep doing what I was doing because there was a point where I kind of stopped because I wasn't like I don't know. I kind of got like stuck and I didn't really know what to do. So I kind of stopped. I kind of like let my guard down. And then it took a while to get back a little bit. Like after junior year coming into the last year, I kind of after the season was done, I kind of stopped like lifting and hitting as much as like as much I was doing or like during the season. So it kind of like lowered my standard, and I was trying to just throughout the summer build it back up. So I kind of wish I was just more consistent through all the years instead of like changing, thinking like more is better.
Gotcha. And I make it up as I go, so I'm going to lie. I'm going to ask you another question. Well, I know we're not saying any school names.
Yeah.
What's your recruiting process been like? And is that what you expected the process to be like? I mean, with the NIL and
Yeah.
portal and people
Yeah.
suing to get a 6th year of eligibility, a 7th
Yeah, I
year of
got you.
eligibility, it's kind of made it a crazy landscape. What's it been like for you? I know you've got a few schools
Yeah.
real deep. I believe you have offers. And what is it? Is it what you expected it to be like? How's it different? And what's it overall experience been like?
It's a little harder than I thought, but I mean, I just let God take care of it. I haven't really been worried about it because I know I'll eventually find somewhere to play, whether if it's out of state, in state, NI, JUCO, NCAA, whatever. I just let God take care of it. So it's like I Kyle helps me because he was a coach for a couple years, so he has some connections that he's been trying to help me with, and uh, I just I was trying to control what I can control and just go whatever path God puts me in.
I love that answer. That's a great answer. All righty. Speed round. Here we go. Who's the funniest teammate?
Uh, probably have to say Luke Rod.
Second funniest.
Max, man, I like Max.
Who on the team is best at roasting others?
Uh, I would say like Weston or Brandon.
Who deserves to get roasted the most? Who should, or more?
Weston or Brandon.
Who talks the most trash? It could be
Um,
to the other team. It could not necessarily to you guys. But who just,
Definitely Drew. No, not definitely, but Drew.
all righty. Who's the most gullible teammate?
That Jackson or Diego.
Who's the easiest to prank?
Oh, probably Jackson or Diego or like JP.
All right, so here's a tough one. You've been in the program 4 years. What's the best prank that's happened on the team? Could be any of the years. It's a tough one because
I don't really,
see, now I just talked to kind of fill in to give you a moment to think. You realize that.
I mean, my sophomore year, I used the pine tar rag without asking, and then they like threatened the pine tar my whole bat, and like they grabbed my. Deej had my bat in the PDC. It was just me and him, and he had it like up next to my bat, and he was just messing with me. I mean, that's like really all I can remember.
Got it. All righty. Who has the worst music taste on the team?
Well, all we hear is like Luke, and like, I don't really know.
Who's always late?
Brandon.
Who forgets their gear the most? Somebody forgets their cleats or their pants on game day. Who's that going to be?
Probably me.
All right. Who has the weirdest superstition or kind of ritual before games? Or
I don't know. I would say like the person who does the weirdest things before games would be like Josh because he does a lot of like weird stretches, but no one. I don't think anyone's like really that superstitious.
who takes the longest to get ready, get dressed, and get ready to get going?
I don't notice these things. I mean, I don't really know.
Who do you think spends most time in front of a mirror?
Probably Drew.
Who has the
Low-key.
best hair?
I don't know. I would say Juan, but he's not here, so
All right.
I don't really know.
They don't have to be here. That's a good one. Who has the best dress style?
I would say like Drew or Weston. I like the flops with no socks. I rock with it.
Who would get lost going to an away game?
Uh, I don't know, like maybe Brooks.
Who would survive the longest on like a reality show, like Survivor?
Uh, I feel like maybe like Jack is outdoorsy, so maybe Jack. I don't know.
Who would get cut first from the show?
Or like Max, Dylan.
Who would make the best future coach? Who could you see one day, 20 years from now, you come back, you can see him coaching somewhere?
I was talking about this the other day with him. I forgot. I think it was. I forgot.
My next question is going to be who would make the worst coach? Who would just be a nightmare to have as a coach?
Say like. I don't know. Like maybe like I feel like Quinn maybe. I feel like you get really mad at the kids.
Who would accidentally start a team fight?
Probably Luke Rod. Definitely Luke.
Alrighty. And who would you not want to be your roommate on a road trip?
Honestly, Cade he farts a lot. I have him in English, and when I would sit next to him, he would no bueno.
If you could date, okay, be very careful how you answer this next question, okay, with extreme caution.
Okay.
If you could date one famous actress, athlete, author, who would it be? Entertainer? You have a girlfriend, so be very careful how you answer this question.
Probably Olivia Dunn.
He didn't even take it. He didn't even take the hint. Olivia Dunn. All righty. And if you could spend a day watching baseball with anyone, could be alive, could be dead, you just get to spend one more day watching baseball with all day. Who's that going to be?
Probably either Derek Jeter or Jorge Posada.
Excellent. Awesome. Great job, Joey.
Thank you for having me.
All righty, we're back. Rock Hardball on deck with a class of 2003. It seems like a long time ago now, doesn't it?
You're telling me.
Travis Schlitting. I've
know-
always been corrected on how I've said your name, but we've been friends for 9 years, so this is a fun interview that I get to do.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me out here, and it's always good to get back around Round Rock alumni.
So tell us about your family, where you grew up.
So I moved to Round Rock when I was about 10 years old. Got jumped right into the baseball world. You know, learning all the sports, playing the games, playing in Sam Bass used to be the baseball fields back then. Man, it was baseball's big here in Round Rock, and being able to experience that was great for my development and allowed me to maybe get to places I might not have been able to get to without what we had going on here in Round Rock.
So married to?
I got married to Juliana Joseph. We're Juliana Schlichting now, local Round Rock family. I got 3 boys. I got 2 of them sitting over there in the corner. I got one at home, or he's actually at a Round Rock Baseball League for rec ball right now going on. So my world is busy. I coach all 3 of the kids when I can. I run the 13U team and help out with the 10U team, and can rec ball 7-year-old baseball is a little tough sometimes. So I'll go there to help out on occasion, but it's hard for me to sometimes sign up for those long-term commitment of coaching 6, 7-year-olds. Can be difficult.
And talking of Rock Hardball, what's the name of the team that you've put together and coached 13?
Yep, my 13U team we're Texas Hardball. We did run off of that Hardball name. I think it goes well with what we're trying to build with our team, and honestly, kind of a lot of the things I was learned in Round Rock Hardball or with myself is, you're teaching the same thing to these kids as well.
And Ian my son is one of them, one of the teammates, and with Jackson. All righty. So what is your earliest baseball memory?
Ooh, I would say it was my earliest baseball memory would be growing up a Dodger fan, grew up in California. I'm only 4 or 5 years old, and I remember the Kirk Gibson home run.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my parents let me stay up late to watch that game, and that would be the first, long-term baseball memory. But from an experience of playing, the first really memory that kind of sticks with me, it goes back to Sam Bass days here. We had an awesome Sam Bass Outlaws team, and getting together in those all-star teams back in the day. Now they don't have, those all-star teams aren't the same as what they were back then. Our all-star team could compete with anybody out there. Rec ball's just in a different spot than it used to be. Not saying one's better than the other, to be honest with you. But that team we had, and us as 10-year-olds, guys I played and at Round Rock with, were on that exact team, and getting to play that 10-year-old baseball sure is fun. And that was one of my most fun memories was back in 10-year-old All-Stars.
So you come in, I guess it would have been, you played 2000, 1, 2, and 3. So 2000, you come in to Rock Hardball, Round Rock High School. What was the program like? What was it like? You come in under the famed Coach Langerhans.
Coming in as a freshman, Round Rock's always loaded. You're expecting it to be loaded. You're loaded when you're not really even expecting to make varsity until your junior year, regardless of, the talent that we had out there, and even from myself at that time, but just wasn't opportunity there. It was better to develop at JV and get the ABs and sit the bench on varsity, and that just shows, though, what kind of talent has been produced out of this town when you're not even really expecting that opportunity to play varsity as a sophomore. You got to go through the steps to get there.
So who did you look up to in those early years in the Rock Hardball program? What baseball players were ahead of you on your team? Was there anybody that you kind of looked up to that kind of...
From the older class, it's easy. There's a lot of great choices. Obviously, Ryan Langerhans is an easy one to look up to. A couple years, if you want to go closer to my grade, there was a guy named Abe Woody. He was a pitcher, went to Baylor. You got Jeff Onaveros, Joey Guajardo. There's a lot of names out there. But we're all trying to be ourselves too. You try to learn from them, the good, the bad, and all in all, though, you got to be yourself. That's how you're going to play your best game, is playing your kind of style of baseball, how you grew up to play, and playing free and loose.
So did you guys feel like you had one of the best classes in Round Rock history, in the history of rock hardball.
I mean, from my understanding, going into our state championship game, we were the number one team in the nation.
Yeah.
So we were number one in the nation, and then we weren't able to pull off that state championship game. It still hurts today to kind of talk about that and think about that, just because we know what kind of team we had, and it just it hurt to not finish what we started. But part of the learning process and part of growing, and doesn't mean it doesn't hurt still.
Now, did you guys feel extra pressure, especially earlier, not the 03 season necessarily, but earlier with the shadow of that 97 team? You guys are coming just 5-6 years after that.
I think
run.
we were too dumb. Like we're just out there. We want to be baseball players. I don't think the pressure. I didn't feel like I felt the pressure. We just as a team wanted to just play and show what we could do and what we were about. I think at that age, you're not kind of thinking about that as much. But that's back then. No social media. Things are, it's a different world nowadays than when I was. It was great when I grew up, just being able to focus on baseball, just focus on your team and not the outside noise. I still preach it with my kids. I don't care what's going on in the other dugout. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care about that stuff. We need to handle us. And if we're handling ourselves and taking care of us as a team, we're doing things right, and the game will play out the way the game is supposed to be played out.
Who were some of the teammates that year? 2003, very special year. You got some great ball players along with yourself. Who were some of the guys that were?
We were loaded. We had studs. John Danks, we all know that name, number 9 overall draft pick, 10 plus years in the big leagues. Chance Wheelis hit one of the biggest home runs for the University of Texas to get them into, I believe, the College World Series against Baylor. And then had a little short pro career as well. Nick Peoples, who follows that Peoples family, Danny and John. Then we had a guy, Matt Knockreiner, right-handed pitcher, filthy, nasty stuff. Mike Chambliss behind the plate, even John's little brother, Jordan. I feel like I'm pretty sure our whole team 1 through 9 ended up either going D1 or pro baseball.
Yeah. Who pushed you to be your very best during those high school years?
Oh, that's got to be you. I think that's no one else can push you harder than yourself. It sometimes makes things difficult to deal with when you don't get the results you're looking for. But if someone's got to push you to get you to where you need to get to, you got to look yourself in the mirror a little bit, I think. For me, it was wanting to, I always felt like my expectations were higher than anyone else's expectations that could be put on me.
I love it. That's the first time anyone's ever answered it that way. I like that question. I like that answer. What was summer ball like back then? Like today, a lot of these young men are going to use summer ball. That's kind of the launch pad to get seen by colleges or to make that transition. What was that like? And second part of that question, what was your recruiting process like?
So summer ball, if you want to go off of the Round Rock summer ball, I would say back when I was coming up, it was, that was our kind of like a fun season. It was more of a bonding. I don't know, maybe it wasn't maybe I'm speaking wrong, but I didn't feel like it was as serious at that time. It was more just like kind of getting your groove together, getting a feel for your teammates. Now I would say it's probably much different. But if you went into the select side of what we were doing, that's where you get into the recruiting. We had as you would imagine, a loaded select team as well, which made things great for someone like me. I wasn't always the main person people were coming to look at, but when you can produce and show out when someone's coming to look at someone else, that's just taking advantage of opportunities. And I try to take advantage of any opportunity, someone out there to go watch someone else. I want them to be thinking of me as they're watching that guy, thinking of me or putting a little note next to my name at that time. I mean, this is a dog eat dog game, and you got to take advantage of certain chances you get, and easier said than done.
Well, interesting, right? Because very similar to this year, we see a lot of pro scouts. We see a lot of D1 scouts in our stands, especially on Tuesday nights. You had a lot of scouts out in 03 looking at a pitcher named John Danks, again, the number 9 overall pick, Chicago White Sox, I believe.
Yeah, he went to the Rangers, and then he was traded to the White Sox. I mean, it's pretty funny. I was with my parents not too long ago. They still live in Round Rock, live off Dragon Drive. So growing up on Dragon Drive, I'd wake up, look over the fence, see what sports are going on, and climb over the fence and just go play whatever is going on over there. But speaking of John and that situation, but running into my parents, they gave me some stuff of mine, and they had a DVD, and it was like they wrote like on the DVD like $300,000 home run. And I'll explain that a little bit more, but that was game 1, our very first game of the season. John's on the mound. There's 40 scouts in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
They're there to watch John mainly, but they know there's other players there to watch as well. And my first at bat, I mean, I hit a ball well over 400 feet. And then later on that game, I make a play at shortstop against a burner. And like, really that one game really jumped me from maybe a 10th round draft pick into a top 100 pick. But it was funny that you bring that up, and just recently my parents gave me a DVD with that big money home run ball, that big money home run.
So the big money home run ball, was that the moment you realized, wow, I might be able to make it to that next level now?
I wasn't thinking that at that time. I feel like the steps of my journey was coming in. I'm trying to find a way to get recruited to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you kind of feel like here comes some of that, now you're looking for that top tier school. And then you get to the next one, and then it's pro ball. But it's tough because I didn't know. I was on the very bubble of deciding whether I wanted to go pro or to college.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be in the top 100 picks, and I went 98th overall. So, I mean, that draft day was getting a little nerve-wracking. Draft day, just to give a little backstory on that, like I thought I was going to go to the Phillies in the 3rd round. We had conversations. Phillies ended up taking a guy named Tim Moss, Texas player, played at UT. That was their first pick in the draft. For some reason, they didn't have a 1st or 2nd round pick, and they decided to go a college route instead of a high school route. Mm-hmm. And after they passed on me, I was really nervous about what was going to happen. And to be honest with you, Tampa drafted me at 98. And I had a very bad experience with that recruit or that team when they came to my house to do the interviews and mm-hmm. all these tests and all these things. Well, he didn't show up. He didn't show up at all. Like my parents, myself, were waiting for him to show up. No shows us. We end up rescheduling for another day. But it just, you get that vibe like, they can't be that interested in you if they didn't even make it to your house for this visit that you scheduled, not me. So it was definitely caught me off guard being drafted by them just because of the way that our process had started with that organization.
So you said opening day, senior year. Now you said something earlier. When did you play varsity?
So I got called up for playoffs as a sophomore, but that was the norm for Coach Langerhans to call you up during playoffs, pinch run.
Sophomore year, you got to bring up, you're a pinch runner.
That's it.
You fast forward senior year, opening day. Anyone want to see the home run? Do you remember where that was at?
It was Pflugerville Conley.
So if anyone wants to see it, there's the actual 400-foot blast. And I know in previous conversations you were like, wow, this is the start of the season. That's somebody coming out to watch a pitcher named John Danks pitch, and he hits a 400-foot bomb. Do you remember what field that was at?
I think it was Pflugerville Conley. much smaller left field than what we're used to at Round Rock. You know, us hitters over there, we got to move those fences in. I know
We
Coach Rod
tried.
is no way, but
We
good luck hitting them out to left field in Round Rock.
we tried. All right, so talk about draft day, 2003 Major League Draft. You think there's a shot maybe with the Phillies? They go the college route, take the college player. A little bit of an Aaron Rodgers, right? You're sliding, you're kind of. But what was that process like? It's not like today. It wasn't on MLB Network. It wasn't on television. Like, how do you get notified that you've been drafted?
I mean, it was dial-up internet. You know, we had internet on. A radio was basically broadcasting it. We were in our state playoff run at that time, which was nice because you could kind of take your mind maybe off the draft and more kind of focus on you're still playing baseball. We got big games ahead of us. But I remember we had practice that day. I think Coach Langerhans had to reschedule or push our practice back a little later than he wanted to because he wanted to let us players have that moment if that moment came to us of being drafted. But yes, it was dial-up internet and phone call.
So you're literally with your teammates. You're
Not at that time. I was at
Yeah.
home with just my family.
Oh.
You know, you hear about like draft parties.
parties.
And
Yeah,
stuff.
well, that's
No,
one of my questions.
No
I think,
draft
was
party.
it a draft party? What's that like?
No draft party here. It was just me and the parents listening to the radio and just waiting for that phone call. You know they're going to call you first before the pick comes in, just like you see in the NFL on TV. But, you know, I mean, I didn't really have a great feel of – I didn't know if that call was going to come, honestly.
So at Round Rock, you'd been moved to shortstop. You get drafted, and very quickly the Devil Rays. Back then, they were the Devil Rays.
That's right.
They move you to the third base.
Well, I got to give shout outs. I know Coach Carter already left, but Carter was, you know, he's the one that saw me as a shortstop. I'm 6'4". Usually the height of myself wasn't really in style for shortstops at that time. It's changed now. You see a lot of more taller shortstops and infielders. And we had a really good team where there was Nick Peoples was a baller. I mean, more built like a shortstop, to be honest with you. But Carter saw something and gave me a chance to prove my worth at shortstop, and I was able to do that. I know he's gone, but that's something that I know I'll remember what he did for me in my career for the rest of my life.
And what players do you remember being in that farm system, being in the Tampa Bay Devil Rays with you back in those days? Any players that kind of stood out to you?
Well, I mean, we had my year I got drafted, they had the number 1 overall pick. So Delman Young was the number 1 pick. He was everyone's number 1. It wasn't really a hard choice for any teams at that point on who to pick. Everyone knew that's who it was. Delman Young had an okay career. He still put together a pretty good little baseball career. I remember like B.J. Upton was drafted before that, so we got to, you know, hang around him, and he had a pretty good career. Josh Hamilton, everyone knows that name for the most part around here. You know, I didn't get to be around Josh when I was with Tampa, but I got to hear stories. Good stories, not bad stories. I'm talking about athletic ability and like what he was able to do on a baseball field that was just kind of unheard of. But those were really, you know, the Rays didn't really, maybe they didn't do a great job of drafting, you know. They took me and I was,
Hey, it worked
you know,
out for you, though.
It worked out as a pitcher, but, you know, that maybe they saw me wrong.
All right, so 2006, you get traded to the Anaheim Angels.
Yep.
Take us through that experience, the emotions. Like, how do you find out you've been traded? Did you see it coming? Is it a disappointment?
The trade was weird. I didn't see it coming. I was actually with the wife, the girlfriend at the time. We were skiing in Colorado, had cell phones and stuff, but like I was not a great skier and I was worried about like breaking my cell phone. So I left my cell phone at home while we skied probably 8-9 hours on the mountain. I get back to our condo and I look at my phone and there's like 70 missed phone calls and messages. And I'm like, what is going on? And that was basically kind of how I found out I got traded. To me, it was a good thing. I felt like it was, you know, maybe time to reset and try to prove some new people what I can do. It was a short live with the Angels. I got basically 1 year with them. I was still a third baseman at that time. I actually tore my MCL. I was down in Arizona rehabbing, and I actually went to the team and said, hey, I want to try pitching. Tired of hitting 250, very little power, I didn't see myself making it to the big leagues as a third baseman. I just didn't think the odds were in my favor and wanted to give pitching a shot. Angels they did give me a shot at pitching. It was a short run. They cut me loose and released me that next spring training. And then I had to kind of go through the ranks. Played independent baseball, which is you're getting paid to play, but you're not affiliated with anyone. And kind of had to start over and learn how to pitch at that time. And Dodgers, after that season, I didn't really pitch well, but Dodgers remembered me from high school, asked me to go throw a bullpen at Concordia. Went up to Concordia. I threw like 8 pitches, and one of the pitches caught the catcher in a spot that you don't want to be caught in.
Joey Roboto?
And while we were waiting for him to recover a little bit to continue my bullpen, the Dodger scout was like, that's all I need to see. He was like, I don't need to see any more. You don't need to throw any more pitches.
Now, are you thinking here like I blew it? Like they didn't like what they saw?
No, I knew it had to be good. My sinker was working well that day. It was a slider that caught him, but I could tell by the way that it came out that it was like, I saw enough in those 8 pitches. I don't need to see any more. And they offered me a spot to sign with the Dodgers. I had a little ultimatum, and hey, we need you to sign this contract. You got 24 hours. I was like, send it now. I'm good. I don't need to. We ain't waiting. Go ahead and fire it this way. I'm good. And then that's where caught a break with the Dodgers with them now.
So May 31st, 2009.
Yep.
You get the phone call that every one of us at one point in our lives, if you play this game, you dream of one day getting this phone call.
Yeah, I was on the road. We were, I can't remember where we were at on the road. On the road, manager calls me into the dugout. This is before, or into his office. This is before the game. And yeah, I don't remember the conversation. I don't remember much of it. It was one of those surreal moments that you just kind of, you're there, but you just kind of feel like you're kind of floating above ground and not really recalling everything that's happening because of the excitement of knowing that you are now going to be considered a big league baseball player. And then got called up, and our first game was in Wrigley, which was awesome to make your very first big league, not pitching experience, but big league roster experience at Wrigley. It was tough, though. I got called up. I'm a relief guy. Don't pitch in Wrigley. Joe Torre's a manager, very veteran-oriented manager. Not like today. Today, if you get called up, you're ready. They're expecting you to contribute right away. Kind of at that time, it was called up, and then we're waiting for the right time to introduce you to the game. Let's not put you in a game that's a 2-run game, 1-run game. Torrey was waiting for the right game to let me,
see what you got.
And
so that would be 8 days.
We played
8 days later.
Nothing but 2-run ball games for over a week, and it's tough being a bullpen guy used to throwing at least every other day, waiting for that opportunity.
So June 7th, 2009, you make the major league debut against the Philadelphia Phillies. Was your wife, was your
whole
family there?
Yeah, my wife's family, her sisters, my family, sisters. I mean, pretty much everyone that could be there.
So they're riding this out game after game after game.
They've been traveling everywhere I'm going. They're following because they don't want to miss that first. You don't know how many you're going to get, and I didn't get a ton. So.
Yep.
I'm glad they were able to experience as many as they were able to, for sure.
So it's June 7th, 2009. You come in the game. At what point did you realize I'm coming in? Was it literally like get warmed up and that's like your holy crap, I'm about to enter?
Yeah, I mean, kind of the feel of the game as you play. You kind of know the roles, your role, everyone's role. And I knew the way the game was playing out, which was Sunday night baseball ESPN game.
Yep.
So only game on TV, which is cool to be able to experience as well, your first game being that. But I could tell by the way the game was playing out that the role that I was going to be in for this team, that this was probably going to be my opportunity. But yeah, the phone call rings and you got a bullpen coach answering the phone. It's not like a player's answering it. So, I know when that phone rang, I'm just looking, waiting, like, better be me. Let's go. I'm ready. I want my turn.
And it is.
It was. The
Okay.
phone came for me, and it's let's go, get hot. Where you got to get going.
Okay. So Joe Torre comes out to the mound, signals to you. The wall opens, and now you're walking out or jogging out to home plate.
You better be jogging.
Take us through that jog from the bullpen to the pitcher's mound. It's in Philadelphia?
No, we're in LA.
You're in LA. So at the LA Dodgers, running out to the mound. Now, there's no Edwin Diaz trumpets playing for you or LED lights back then.
No, I was never a walkout guy, even as a hitter. I didn't really, care about the walkout music. I was more wanting to be focused on my at-bat and what I'm doing. And honestly, hitting is so difficult and pitching, whatever you're doing, is so difficult. The last thing I want to do is stress on what song I'm coming out to. I need to be dialed in on what I'm trying to do. Man, I don't remember the jog out there. I don't remember.
You probably floated.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That kind of feel. You got 35,000 people, 40,000 people. And as an athlete and a baseball player that plays at high levels, just knowing how to block things out, that's a big part of the game and being able to do. And when you're making that run in, honestly, if whether I'm running in from a AAA bullpen or the big league bullpen, my kind of mind gets into that same, it's game time. And I don't remember the jog. I don't remember the conversation with Torrey.
So Hall of Famer,
Yep.
now Hall of Famer, but 4-time World Series champion, no, 5-time. A 5-time
Yep.
World Series champion manager hands you the baseball. So you don't remember what he says to you. But let's talk about your first batter. So you finally make it to the show, and you are now facing one of the most feared batters in Major League Baseball at the time, the 2005 National League Rookie of the Year, the 2008 National League MVP, and the 2009 National League Championship Series MVP, Ryan Howard.
Yeah. Coming in right away, Ryan Howard as my first batter. Honestly, I didn't look at it like I didn't really care who was on the other side of the plate. I was going to go with what my strengths were against you. And my strength was an arm side sinker. He's a lefty. His strengths get extended. So it kind of was, hey, I'm giving you, it's my strength against your strength. And he won that battle. He took me deep. First batter I faced in the big leagues hit a home run off of me, and it was not a cheap shot. It was a no doubter. Ball doesn't carry super well in LA at night, and this ball was well hit. He got me, and then I shut down the next 5 guys. I got 5 outs in a row, and then waiting 8 days to get in there, I kind of ran out of juice. I walked the bases loaded, and then guess who's coming up next? Ryan Howard. Back up, and that was Torrey was like, hey, that's it. We're getting you out of here before this gets too ugly. They brought in another guy, and thankfully he was able to get me out of that jam. I think it was a 1-pitch pop up to the infield and was able to save me from having more runs against me.
And your pitching experience with the Dodgers sways your 3 boys. Now you've got a next generation of Dodger fans,
That's right.
which isn't awful. But that's not the only thing, right? That's not the only thing. How does it feel to be the greatest mullet in baseball history? So I'm going to show the people at home this one. So Travis Schlichting has been voted the #1 mullet in the history of Major League Baseball.
It feels about as good as it looks.
So tell us the quick story, because this is a great story on this one. How do you end up getting this? Who does it to you?
So I was, I guess, at always had the shag. I was always that shag hair, kind of hippie
Yep.
look, I guess you could say. In the big leagues, you can kind of have your hair however you want to. Well, you get minor leagues a different ballgame. They tell you what to do at that point. And I'm in big league spring training, kind of struggling a little bit, not having my best stuff, and I could feel that call coming, like, "Hey, we're about to send you down to the minor league side of camp." And I knew that when I got sent down to the minor league side of camp, they're going to make me cut my hair anyways. So before I got sent down, I figured, hey, let's have a little bit of fun with this, and let's go ahead and cut this hair into a mullet. And my beautiful wife sitting over there, she's eating with food all in her mouth, caught her at a perfect time. Basically took her a picture of Joe Dirt and was like, I want you to do this. And that was her hands. She produced the greatest mullet of all time.
And then you got on the hot streak because you couldn't cut it right away.
No, I left it, man. It was we would go.
And she loved it, right?
Oh, she's a trooper. But we would, you're in big league spring training. You're in Scottsdale, fancy areas and stuff, and we'd go get maybe a fancy steak dinner, and I'm walking in looking like that, and these people are looking at me like, who is this? But we did. I kept that mullet for at least a week, maybe 2 more weeks before I finally buzzed it all off.
3 weeks, your wife is flashing, but Yahoo Sports. It's not even like some rinky dink. Like Yahoo Sports actually ranks it as the greatest mullet in MLB history. That's awesome.
I'll take it.
One of my older boys, you worked with on pitching with us, and he found it on social media. He was like, "This is so cool!" I had to bring it out.
I get a message every once in a while from someone else finding it. It's one of those
just
things
doesn't
that'll
go away.
live
Gifts
forever,
that keep
dude. Like what they say, what ends up on the internet stays there forever. That's a positive one of where hopefully I'll continue getting those random message of a friend or someone I played with that runs into that article.
That's awesome. All right, so last 2 questions, right? So you go on to Oakland, then Sugarland Skeeters. If I'm not mistaken, it's after the 2013 season.
Yep.
You decide to retire.
Yep.
Was that tough? How did you work through all those emotions of, like we talked about, Coach Carter was at Texas Tech when he hung it up. Some of these young men are going to hang it up after their senior years. Some are going to play in college. At some point, everybody hangs it up. What's that like, that emotions? That decision?
It's very difficult. Baseball was all I knew, all I did. That's jumping from high school to the pro ranks, not having that college in between maybe puts it into a different perspective. But it hurt. It hurt knowing that you don't have what you had.
Mm-hmm.
And what I had then was what I would say was not up to my par. Like I said earlier in this, like I was my hardest critic. That falls right into the line of the end of your career, not quite feeling like yourself or feeling like it's hard to get those outs that used to feel like they were easy to get. And now those outs are harder and harder to get. And on top of that, dealing with shoulder pain and fighting through injuries and pitching in pain quite often to keep going.
And a newborn at home.
Yeah, and a newborn at home. And I kept it going. I played a little bit of winter ball that year or two in Puerto Rico. And I could just kind of tell my body was telling me it was time, but there were things I could have done differently to treat my body better. And things I've learned a lot later on in life. Wish I would have learned them earlier. Glad I learned them at some point, but I didn't always go about my business the right way, and that definitely did not help with the injury coming, in my opinion. And I don't mind sharing. I had a drinking problem. I like to drink a lot and partying at night all the time. Sometimes that was more important than baseball games, and I'm 4 years sober now. Just recently got to celebrate that just this month, honestly. But it took me a long time to figure those things out, and I'm glad I did. But it does change maybe what some of the outcomes could have been in my baseball career. But now it's about teaching the youngers, teaching them, trying to show them, learn from some of Dad's mistakes, some of Coach's mistakes, and that's what I want to do now is try to share the love, pass the game off, and also, some of the experience I've been through, whether they're ups and downs, making sure and be that coach that's open to my kids that I coach. I'm willing to share whatever they want to hear. I'll share it.
Well, I love that you shared that. Like
Yep.
I know you very well. I wasn't going to bring that up, but I mean, because you got a bunch of young men here
That's right.
that
And
make
that's why I wanted to
decisions
share.
every Friday night, every Saturday night, every party, every spring break,
Yep.
right? People are making decisions, and you don't realize how that alters the course or kills potential.
Big time. I mean, and that is why I know there's young, teenagers here, young adults, young men. And I don't mind admitting my mistakes, and owning up to those mistakes and learning from those mistakes. And I think that's just being the right human, trying to be the right human. And we know we're all going to go through them. What do you do, or how do you react, and can you fix it? And took me longer than I wanted to, but I wanted to fix it, and I was willing to, and it's been the best decision for anyone listening. It has been the best decision of my life. My family life is better than it's ever been, and I feel like, the dad I've become has really changed.
That's awesome. That's really powerful. All right, so last question for you. What's it like coming out? I see your dad, Jay, out there all the time. Love your mom and dad. What's it like coming out to Round Rock games on a field that you once played at, knowing that in the next couple of years, you have 3 boys that will be coming on, putting on that same Dragons uniform that you once wore?
It's nice to get back. I don't get back as often as I'd like. And I was talking to Coach Carter about it earlier. Like, man, I apologize for not being around as often as I can. It is tough, though, with coaching and all the things I've got going on in my family life. And, those baseball games are usually on a day I've got to practice with one of these kids and one of these teams. Mm-hmm. And it makes it difficult to get out there. Or when I do have it in my schedule, it's like, man, I haven't had a night to like myself at all. Like, so sometimes we'll not go because I need a little recover day every once in a while. But I love going back and watching the games, being a part of it. It's definitely different sitting in the stands or sometimes sitting in the outfield and watching some of those games. But it's good to be a Dragon, and always good to be going back and supporting other Dragons.
Awesome. Travis Slitting?
Yep.
Class of 2003.
2003, man.
Love it. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right, Weston. We'll do 1 or 2 juniors. So, Weston, jump on up. Yeah, I saw it.
It's turned backwards.
To Rusty? Oh, is he still here?
Is this supposed to be turned backwards?
For how many years? 28 years? Yep. And it's Charlton, right? No, I know who he is.
Is this supposed to be turned backwards?
No. Just flip it around. All righty. So is Rusty still here? Where is he? We're going to. I just want to acknowledge Rusty Charlton. Many of you guys came out through Round Rock baseball. They just dedicated a bench to him out at the fields for 28 years of service for the Round Rock Baseball League. So hold on, and he's a regular watching all you boys play. I didn't choose that. Hold on. All right, when he comes out, I'll pause for a second and acknowledge. All right, so Rock Hardball on deck. We're going to start knocking out some of the juniors. Weston, one of my faves, used to run across Sean Silver's yard all the time when you were like wee little. I think you were second grade when I met you.
Probably somewhere around
You're
there.
a lot smaller than you are now. All right, so tell me about your family, siblings, pecking order. Where are you?
I have two older siblings, a sister and a brother. Both go to A&M, and then just mom and dad. That's about it.
So you have two siblings at A&M?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. All righty, who's the best athlete in the family?
Probably my dad. I mean, altogether, him.
Who's the smartest one in your family?
Either him or my sister.
Who's the best dressed in your family?
Brother, probably. Flip flops.
What's your earliest baseball memory?
Probably just like the halos running around hotels. Nothing really to do with baseball.
Kind of playing hotel tag?
Yeah.
Annoying all the people staying there? What sports did you grow up playing?
I played baseball, basketball, and football. Stopped football and basketball after freshman year.
After you played Round Rock freshman year,
Yeah.
and then
I played that freshman year, and then I was done. Just only baseball.
was it hard to give up basketball and football?
Say basketball more than baseball. So I still like to play it. Football, I hated freshman year. It's awful.
Brutal.
Yeah.
What's your earliest baseball memory?
Like I said, probably just running around the hotels with my older team.
Mm-hmm. At what age? And I know you played for Dan Wells. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But talk to me a little bit about when, and I know he's prepping you for high school and beyond,
Yeah.
right? So at what point did you kind of picture yourself as a high school baseball player?
I mean, whenever they would like come in and do like the dragon skills, probably around then. When my brother's in high school too, kind of realizing it's not that far as you think it is.
What's it like now going back to your old elementary school with dragon skills?
It's weird. Think that wasn't that long ago. Now it's, I mean, it was 10 years ago. What? Something around there. So
When you pictured yourself playing high school baseball, what did you think you'd be playing? Like what positions? How did you see yourself?
I mean, really just pitching more than anything. Maybe the outfield. I didn't really play first base until freshman year. So
And you played for the Halos you mentioned.
yeah,
And what positions did you play for Dan and Rhett?
outfield mostly. Outfield pitcher. Yeah.
What did you like the most?
Pitching, definitely. I mean, like pitching and hitting. I don't really like playing in the field, to be honest.
What's your most memorable baseball play ever? I don't care if you're 9 years old, but what's the most
I
memorable
have
play?
no clue.
You have no play that you think of. You have to think of one play.
The most memorable, and Drew will remember this. We were playing, and I think it was like Kyle, and I was in right field, and I had to go pee, and and they put like this sub in right field, and then he ended up like dropping a ball, and we lost. So
Ooh.
that's the most memorable, but not like in a good way.
Now you grew up playing for really an old school hard nosed coach. I know Dan real well. I love Dan, but he is your old school coach that will rip into you. What was that like? Was that hard? Because a lot of kids you can't coach that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like my dad was always like that too, so it was nothing new. But I mean, he just wanted you to get better at the end of the day. It wasn't anything personal. So once you realize that, it was good.
Was that hard to realize at first?
I mean, when you have someone talking to you like that when you're so young, you're probably not going to be like thrilled about it. But
Yep.
I mean,
At what point did you realize, like, beyond, hey, this guy's, you didn't look at it like this guy's being a jerk, to, wow, this guy actually knows what he's doing and I'm getting better?
yeah, I mean, whenever the stuff he said started working, then you figure you should probably listen to everything he's saying.
So what does your off-season training look like?
I mean, off season, I mean, just working out, throwing.
You work with a trainer, work with any
I
pitching coaches, hitting coaches?
I go to a pitching coach, and then I really just like hit by myself or with friends. And
Mhm.
I went to a place to work out over off season, but yeah,
Are you superstitious?
Not really, no.
No pregame rituals, songs you listen to?
Pregame, me and Jack take a selfie in center field every game, so that's probably like the weirdest thing.
What's it like playing high school baseball with a bunch of guys, clowns that you grew up playing baseball with? I mean, you guys been together for a long time.
Yeah, it's fun, but you just gotta cherish it because it's coming to an end soon. So
Looking at like the senior class, do you realize like how fast that time really goes? Does it?
yeah, I mean, they're gonna be gone in like 3 or 4 months. So
Mhm.
it's crazy.
Who's the best poker player?
Probably Maddox, I'd say, because he either wins like $200 or loses 100. So he's pretty good.
Okay, if you had to pick 4 guys on a team, so you're gonna play a thing, and however the 4 guys perform decides. So it's team rankings.
Probably like Drew, Cade, Jack, and Brooks right now.
Is that because that's 4 sitting there?
No, I don't. 2 of them aren't even there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Wait, oh, you're saying poker?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying baseball.
No, poker.
Poker?
You're in a poker tournament. You're going to Vegas.
Oh,
How you
Oh.
4 do is the jackpot you win.
not Luke Rod. Probably, probably Maddox, Diego, Drew, and Baker.
Who's pushed you to be your very best on the team? What teammates have
Hey,
pushed you?
Omar, 'cause it's my lifting partner.
When things weren't going your way, how do you keep a positive attitude?
Just cheering on my teammates, really.
Okay, so
Just get
now
my mind off it.
Now, pitching, you've done phenomenal. You've gotten a lot of opportunity. You come in against Vista Ridge. You're facing your buddy Drew Wells,
Yeah.
and you get him on a curveball, and you start laughing at him.
I wouldn't say.
Take me through that emotions and take me through that at bat.
I mean,
You know he's got a
obviously,
great at bat.
I wasn't supposed to pitch that game, so I start warming up, and 5 minutes later, I'm facing a guy who's going to play D1 baseball. It's kind of don't have time to think. It's almost better that way.
Did you text him afterwards, talk any trash?
No, I talked to him after the game. His dad did it for me. I didn't have to say anything.
So you mentioned you love the pitching more. Like that's your favorite, the batting and the pitching, right? You're right now kind of in this platoon where there's 6 of you in the outfield that are all outstanding players.
Yeah.
How do you keep a positive mindset? I mean, these are some of your best friends, and you're competing and friend. I mean, how do you balance all those emotions?
I mean, I don't really. A lot of people care more about that. I just kind of try to focus on pitching now. That's what I'm going to be helping the team with, and kind of wait for my turn next year to play in the field.
And who kind of helped shape that mindset?
I'd say my dad more than anyone.
What advice would you give to the younger players?
It's like, don't take it for granted. Just have fun with your friends. For sure.
What does being a good teammate in the locker room and dugout look like?
I mean, I'd say our being a good teammate's different. It's more like making fun of each other and stuff like that. But
Oh, we'll get on that in a minute.
yeah. I mean, just keeping positive and not talking other people down.
You guys, I've been around about 8 years now, 9 years now. You guys seem a lot closer than a lot of other programs. So my question is how, why, what has worked? Like you guys have all gelled. I mean, I know there's even sophomores that hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, what is it that's so special about the junior, senior class here that everyone seems to be getting along so well?
I mean, the juniors, we've played together for forever, and then the seniors have also done the same thing. So once we kind of meshed together, it's one team.
Okay, you can go back to your freshman year. You can go back to your freshman year and give yourself advice. What do you tell the freshman Weston Andraco?
Take care of your arm.
So sophomore year, do we talk about that at all?
It was freshman year.
Freshman year?
Yeah.
How did you go through the recovery and the mental? I mean, that's a tough toll.
I mean, I wouldn't say like the mental was anything. Like it was still freshman year, so I knew that it was obviously like the least important of your 4 years. So I don't think that was a big deal. It was just a lot of like PT, and it was like so slow that it would get boring.
All right, let's get into some speed round questions. Who's the funniest teammate?
Probably Maddox and Brooks, I would say.
Third funniest.
Third, Luke Rod.
Who on the team is the best at roasting others?
Probably go Drew.
Who deserves to get roasted the most? Or who should get
Luke
roasted
Rod.
more? Who talks the most trash?
Probably Luke Rod too.
Who's the most gullible?
Jackson for sure.
Second most.
JP.
Who's easiest to prank? Just play an
Maddox
overall prank.
for sure. He gets mad easy.
What's the best prank that's happened on the team? Any of the years that you've been around?
Let's say last year, Ethan Smith used to go behind with like dirt on his hand and slap people's butts so it looked like they pooped.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
All right. Who? I already asked you the poker questions. Who has the worst music taste on the team?
Yeah, probably Maddox.
Who thinks he has really good taste but is awful?
It's just like curveballs, like in every song.
Who's always late?
Brandon.
Who forgets their gear the most?
I don't really know.
Home game. Who's most likely to forget their pants at home?
Probably Baker.
Who has the weirdest superstition?
I don't know. I don't really think people have superstitions. We probably Josh. He has like that long warm up.
Who takes the longest to get ready? Dressed, I'm talking.
Oh, dressed?
Yeah, like to get dressed, or if you guys are going out,
Probably
who's going to take forever to get ready?
Luke Rod, 'cause he just doesn't stop talking.
Who spends the most time in front of a mirror?
Drew for sure.
Who has the best hair?
I don't know. Joey probably for sure.
Who dresses the best?
Say me and Drew with the flip flops.
Who has the strangest? We already hit that one. All right. Who would get lost on their way to a home game?
Diego.
Who would survive longest on a reality show?
Probably Josh, I would say.
Who would get cut first on a survival show?
Luke.
Who would make the best future coach?
I'd say Jack.
Who would make the absolute worst future coach?
Probably Jackson.
Who would accidentally start a team fight?
Luke. No, wait. Quinn.
Who would you not want to roommate with on a road trip?
Luke Roth for sure.
If you could date one famous actress, athlete, who would it be?
Sydney Sween.
And if you could spend a day watching baseball with anyone, dead or alive, who's it going to be?
Probably my brother or dad.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. That'll do it for tonight. Next one, we'll pull up a bunch more of you juniors. So thanks for joining Rock Hardball. Good night.